At this point, it's almost a universal truth. Everyone hates GoDaddy, right? There's even a website called Anti-GoDaddy that has bad reviews from way back in 2006. The last one seems to be in 2015. 9 out of 10 reviewers will say do not use GoDaddy at any cost and refer you to another web hosting provider. Why is that? Well, among some other features, it's mostly money. You see, reviewers make money when you buy something through their links. This is true for absolutely any web hosting review website, video, article, etc. Even the content that I make is no exception. And different web hosting providers pay different rates. GoDaddy basically pays nothing when compared to other companies. They have their own marketing departments, they take care of their own marketing, they do not focus on affiliate commissions. However, for reviewers, this means that there's not big incentive to offer GoDaddy to you. It's much more lucrative to offer you other web hosting companies that pay them more. On top of that, GoDaddy isn't the cheapest and it's not the fastest web hosting provider. It doesn't even have the best support, so it's a really easy target to hate. But today, I'll actually share just the facts, test results, customer testimonials, and actually employee testimonials as well, while sprinkling in a little bit of my own personal opinion. So you can make a decision for yourself if GoDaddy is something that you like or you hate. Let's get started. Let's start off with the facts. GoDaddy is huge. According to Datanyze, 17% of websites that they tested are hosted on GoDaddy. And trust me, 17% for just one company is insane. For reference, on the same scale, Bluehost has a 3% market share and HostGator has 3.5%. GoDaddy has 19.3 million customers and makes around $800 million a year. They're this big because of two factors. One, they're an old company. They've been doing web hosting since 1997. And two, they spend a crap ton on marketing. Though it's unclear, most companies tend to spend around 10% of their earnings on marketing. So I can estimate that GoDaddy has a marketing budget of $80 million every single year. Okay, so they're an older company and they have a lot of cash to blow on marketing.
GoDaddy.com. Marlena on the outside, Wallace on the inside.
But they have to be doing something right to be this profitable, right? So how is their service? I actually bought a plan with GoDaddy back in 2019 that I've been constantly monitoring, and I'll be sharing the test results a little bit later in this video. The cheapest plan here starts at $5.99 a month. But the standard trick applies. If you want to pay $5.99, you'll have to opt in for a 36-month period. If you host your website for only a year, the price jumps to $6.99 a month. And these prices are not cheap, especially considering that you do not get a free SSL certificate, you do not get automated backups, or even essential security together with the plan. All of these extra features are left as add-ons. Problem is, these extra options are priced quite absurdly. For example, the website security tool does little to nothing in my experience, and it costs more than the web hosting plan. The SSL certificate has monthly billing, but you should never pay for SSL certificate because they are free. I actually have a guide on how you can get SSL certificates completely free of charge, even using GoDaddy as an example, that you can find right around here. And I do not recommend buying SSL certificates from GoDaddy because they charge you around $80 for it a year. That's actually absurd. I don't recommend you buy anything extra from GoDaddy because 9 out of 10 times it is overpriced. However, GoDaddy does have some hidden discounts that offer much better deals that you can get normally. For example, if you use the links in the description, you will be able to get 1 year of hosting plus a domain name plus email hosting for $12. The regular price is around $100, so that's quite a significant discount. But as I mentioned before, if you make any purchases using the links down in the description below, I might make a commission. And no, GoDaddy is not sponsoring this video, they did not ask for it, they will not get to review the script before I publish it. In fact, they probably don't even know this video exists because in all reality they don't care. I'm just sharing this information with you because this is how I monetize my YouTube channel and I try to be as honest as possible. So thank you for the support and let's get back to this video. So I had a GoDaddy plan from way back in 2019 when I did my previous review, but for this one I bought a plan with GoDaddy again just to see if anything changed. Here's how it all looks under the hood currently. In all honesty, it's pretty decent. The design is modern and easy to navigate. You have different sections for different features, and you have your primary menu when you can see a quick summary of your website. And then you can access the standard cPanel where all of the controls and advanced features hide. If you've ever dealt with web hosting before, you should definitely be familiar with this control panel. This is where you'll be able to create your free professional business email accounts. You just select the domain you want to use, enter the name and password, and boom. Now I have emmett@emmett.sites.com. Nice and professional. And of course, just like with any web host that uses cPanel, I was able to automatically install WordPress onto my website with just a couple of clicks. You basically just need to choose your login information and everything else is done automatically. It only takes a couple of minutes. Now, I wanted to do some performance tests, but for that I needed a website. So I quickly created a website using their automatic installation, and then I loaded in some demo content to make it as close as possible to something that could actually pass for a real website. I would say the whole process took me around 10 minutes. It wasn't overly complicated, and GoDaddy actually makes the website creation process quite easy and straightforward. The first test I ran was using a tool called GTmetrix. My GoDaddy website loaded between 2 or 4 seconds, with a time to first byte being 0.7 seconds. These are somewhat average and extremely inconsistent results, especially if you're paying full price for the plans. By the way, just so we're on the same page, time to first byte basically means how long it took for the server to initially respond before even loading any of that content. For more expensive web hosting providers, you're always looking for this number to be below half a second. I've been using GoDaddy for quite some time now, more than a year actually on some throwaway projects, and I always monitor my websites using external tools to see how often they go down. And I can't really fault the stability of GoDaddy. It's one of the more stable web hosting providers I've tested all year. Pingdom showed an uptime of 99.93%. That means my website was offline for only 4 hours in 1 year. GoDaddy guarantees an uptime of 99.9% on their website. And as far as I'm concerned, this guarantee seems to check out since I've been running the test for over a year and the uptime is 99.93%. So at least they're not lying in that regard. To summarize the whole performance, here's what I think. The control panel in itself is very beginner friendly and easy to use. For more advanced functionality, you have the standard cPanel and every single function that you could want. In terms of loading speed, I don't like the inconsistencies. I don't like that sometimes it's 2 seconds, sometimes it's 4 seconds. Of course, for smaller projects it's not that big of a deal, but for larger projects you'll definitely need more consistent loading times across the board. Especially considering if you're looking to host a website on a really tight budget. You can get a decently fast and very stable website for just $1 a month if you're using the links down below. When taken into consideration the facts and raw performance data, GoDaddy isn't actually a bad web hosting provider. They're decent. It's just that competition has gotten so much better and their profit margins are getting worse. So in my opinion, GoDaddy is actually trying to get out of the web hosting business because there's less money to be made here. They're moving heavily towards website builders because profit margins are much higher there and the main competition is only Wix and Squarespace. That's why you see them advertise their website builder over web hosting services in most countries. This is where most of the complaints about GoDaddy stem from. Their customer support team, or more accurately, their insanely pushy marketing team. On the surface, everything seems nice. You've got 24/7 live chat support and phone support in a billion different languages. Like seriously, look at this. Support in the United Kingdom, Argentina, Poland, Brazil, Portugal, and many more. Some of these countries I can't even pronounce. You've also got quite an extensive knowledge base that's very easy to navigate, contains plenty of well-written, illustrated, and even highlighted articles. What's not to like? Am I right? Well, as it turns out, a lot. There is a lot not to like. Here's a post I found on Reddit where someone complains that GoDaddy support team actually actively called his business asking if everything is okay and then offered to upgrade. And supposedly, someone who worked for GoDaddy for 8 years answered that this is a very common tactic, and he made a ton of sales this way. GoDaddy also sends out a lot of marketing emails. I had people reach out saying that often if their website is broken, GoDaddy support tries to solve every problem with more expensive packages, more sales, and extra features. Was I too nice to GoDaddy in this review? Yeah, some people might actually say that, so let's put in some more fuel into the fire. If your GoDaddy website for any reason gets hacked, breaks, or you just lose the files, the GoDaddy support team will actually help you recover your website and restore it for the low price of $150 to $300. Yeah, that's right, they will restore your files for the average monthly salary of Pakistan, at least according to Google. If you want to use GoDaddy for web hosting, I can only recommend them if you get an insane discount, for example the $12 for a year deal. It's just really good value for money at the moment, and you can always cancel after the 1 year is up. But in general, for full price, GoDaddy isn't really a good web hosting company. They specialize more in domain names, and now they're shifting their focus onto their website builder tool, which is a really good product by the way, and I will probably do a review on it in the future. And still, with all of that taken into consideration, I still don't think that GoDaddy is as bad as most other people make it to be. You just need to use their services in a very specific way and buy during heavy discounts. It's not really a good choice for beginners because they will bamboozle you and will not help you out when you need it, and it's not really a good choice for larger projects due to average performance and high costs. GoDaddy is best for simple template websites that utilize the one-click installers and never need any external help. If you're trying to get more out of your web hosting provider, it's probably not the best idea to choose GoDaddy. The biggest problem of GoDaddy is that their competitors just simply outperform them over the years, and GoDaddy, they're not actively putting in any effort to make their service better because they don't care about web hosting anymore. They're moving into the website builder space, and they've always been primarily a domain name company. They've actually bought up Uniregistry and some other companies that sell domain names and are becoming a huge domain name monopoly. Because you can use the domain name you get from GoDaddy with absolutely any other web hosting service of your choice, and the domain names alone usually cost around $12. And in this plan you also get web hosting that you can use for throwaway projects, joke projects, or as a backup for your main web hosting provider to avoid some serious downtime. My name is Emmett, I hope you enjoyed this review, and I'll see you in the next video.